This morning, lawmakers in California are preparing to roll out legislation that would allow terminally ill patients to control their own deaths. They will be joined by the family of Brittany Menard. She's a 29-year-old woman who died from brain cancer in November. She had moved to Oregon to legally end her own life. John Blackstone talked with her mother in her first interview about the family's emotional end-of-life choices.
Deborah Ziegler was at her daughter's bedside when Brittany Menard took the medication that would end her life.
I was either going to be there and be strong, or I was not going to be there and regret it the rest of my life.
It was a day that had been fast approaching ever since the 29-year-old was diagnosed with terminal brain cancer.
We were all terrified.
Terrified of what the end would be.
Very terrified. My daughter would wake up in the hospital just gasping for breath.
Just weeks before her death, Brittany spoke to CBS This Morning's Jan Crawford about how she wished to die before her symptoms worsened.
I wouldn't want to suffer for weeks or be unconscious or lose the ability to speak and all these terrible things that can happen.
She did not want people telling her that she must suffer and that she must lose every single skill, her ability to swallow, her ability to stand.
Brittany wanted to choose when she died, so she was forced to leave California and move to Oregon, where a doctor could then legally prescribe medication that would end her life.
And so we went from sheer agonizing terror to having a plan.
Brittany Menard's story reignited debate over right-to-die legislation. Later this morning, Ziegler will join state senators Bill Monning and Lois Wolk as California becomes the 14th state, along with Washington, D.C., to take steps toward right-to-die legislation.
I think Brittany Menard galvanized public opinion. It's a conversation that needs to happen across the country and in California, and that's what this is about.
What we're really looking at doing is creating a compassionate option for end-of-life choice.
But opponents say this freedom to choose death is often not a free choice at all.
Financial and emotional pressures can also make people choose death when it's not really their choice. It's, in a sense, a phony sense of freedom.
Still, for Brittany Menard, the choice was clear. When she decided it was time to take her prescribed medication, she was surrounded by the people she loved.
I sat by her bedside and I read her poetry until I was sure she couldn't hear anymore.
You still would have liked to have more time.
Yeah. You're grasping. But objectively, you look back and you say, thank heavens she went just so quickly. That's so sweet.
For CBS This Morning, John Blackstone, Sacramento.
She was so young, and I thought at the time such a brave decision that she made at 29.
She and her husband had only been married 2 years, but he then said he knew it was her time to go after watching so much illness.
And the mother was probably right.